I was in search of people who are greater than me. I could find people who are greater than me, who could teach me, either in the field of music or in the field of common sense or in the field of spirituality. I was in constant search for people who are stronger than me. Therefore, I went to great musicians. I learned music. I went to great English speakers so that I can become a better speaker. I toured in North India and interact with all people like you who are better than me in Hindi. So I could learn a little Hindi. Had I not sought the company of North India, I would not have improved my Hindi. So in every field, there are better people than you. Yes or no? In every field, including spirituality, including meditation, including enlightenment. Understand? So you seek the company. If Vivekananda can get his Ramakrishna Maharaj, you also can get, everybody can get. I also got my superiors. Move with your superiors. Okay.
Good morning, good afternoon, and a wonderful evening, dear friends and masters. Very warm welcome to our second week of gratitude journey. Hopefully everybody had wonderful weekend and had a time to catch up on our sessions and wisdom notes. Nagendra sir will continue as a tech host for this week, and I, Sonal Doshi, will continue to be your host this week also. So, gratitude for that. And we are looking forward to this week where we're going to learn the real wealth. Our physical health is our real wealth, and how we can improve through meditation and learning the wisdom. Thank you, sir. Welcome, and over to you.
Happy morning, dear friends and masters. Great afternoon, evening. We always want newer experiences, and that happens through learning. Just by learning about how the thoughts and how they interfere with the body, just by learning that, we can have a newer experience of great health. Just by learning how thoughts are interfering into the body's health. 1 second, I think I gotta get my background fixed. Yes. Pick. Okay, we'll go with it like this for now. So just by understanding how these thoughts interfere with our body's health, we can have a newer experience of a greater health. Those who have poor health today, just by recognizing how thoughts interfere, and so then automatically we have a response to change of thought and so change our health. But that's a different experience. When health is changed, you have different experience. When health is not that great, you have different. You don't go to office, you have to give explanations. You feel not that great. But you change your health, and of course, you are bubbling, you are going towards your career goals. Health is our foundation for kindling our interest to do things. It's more common sense. That's why many successful leaders make gaining great health as one of their disciplined items in their daily life. Not known to everyone knows about it. But there are different ways to gain this health. And if you know that our thoughts are the ones which are actually causing bulk of the ill health in the body, discoherence in the body. And then if you have something that can change your thought and so then change your health, then of course, the health is in our hand and not in somebody outside, external to us who can treat it. So what causes health is the topic for this week. Ill health, what causes ill health, what causes great health, and then how, of course, meditation helps in changing a lot of it. Physical health, of course. I used to have backaches, and it was an L0 issue of where the disc is damaged, it is not in alignment,
can be termed slip disc, but it's not enough to term slip disc, but it is damaged enough that it pains deeply, leads to pain deeply. L0 means in the back at the bottommost thing there, in the vertebra. And so to have this challenge regularly, did not realize it is my thoughts that are interfering. When I came into meditation, my thought process changed. I didn't know the connection. But 4 months later, I gained great relief for my back issue. It was not coming on again as it used to come very easily. If I sat in some place for, let's say, half an hour without sort of moving my body, then I would have an issue in the back. But with meditation, it naturally dissolved. And only later I recognized that my negative programming of thinking about it and say, oh, it's going to happen now anyway, in many ways. And I have this constantly used to profess about my backache, saying that it is there, it is going to be forever, and it's going to bother me every now and then. If I'm doing heavy work, if I'm doing extensive work, it's going to come back, which is true. When I'm doing heavy work, extensive work, there are a lot of negative thoughts that flow during that assignment. A lot of negative thoughts flow, frustration, anger, why people are not cooperating, this and that, and all of them are going in and impacting in some way the functioning of the body. Only later when I looked in, that I recognized that there is so much science behind it, a simple science behind how this sustained negative thought called stress impacts the body. And that condition disappeared. Then later I understood that if you talk to your body positively, then you can then develop a different response to activate, upregulate the genes to reconstruct the damaged parts. And so then they get reconstructed, then you are. One is to contain it, and second is to reconstruct, to repair it. And so then you become normal and to do many other things. Thought process to body, feelings to body's health, and meditation to thought and feeling. There's a great connection. So physical health is essential. We know it. That backache is gone, then I'm the most happiest person. I would never dread doing all these, trips where you hold suitcases and this and that. Energy, if you are working in global nature, if you're working where you're expected to be taking global setup, where you take meetings all the time, different days, being able to switch back into different states and then having that energy to carry yourself forward, even at least when the deadlines are there, work for long hours, necessary, while you don't recommend. But then you have to carry forward that energy. By 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, no energy. Whereas in a global setup, when we have offices everywhere in the world, then being able to work with teams at different time zones, so that requires being able to carry ourselves with the same level of energy and enthusiasm every day. That is second aspect. The third aspect, being able to feel good about ourselves, youthfulness, to be able to carry forward longevity. Why is that some people at 90 are going with their bodies cooperating, then their body is looking healthy, and then it seems to be strong enough to do things. Longevity and youthfulness. They're all part of the health, physical and mental health. We're talking with respect to physical body, the visible aspect. Mental health, having the sound mind, otherwise many things regenerate. Having that sound mind, great mind, like anybody, and then abilities to learn, mental abilities to remember, to learn, to store, to create, to have the cognitive capabilities to decide, the part of the mind faculty, having a great mind, sound mind, and then having the right abilities, no matter I'm at 20 or 40 or 60. Because many feel I can't learn, I can't do, My memory is not serving me, and then it's because of something called neurorigidity. Now, all of these aspects are part of the health, and then we will understand one by one. This today, after meditation, we'll understand about the stress response. Medical fraternity is talking about stress is the leading cause of most of the illnesses, more than 90%. If 90% of my illnesses, from common headaches to irritable bowel syndromes to acid refluxes, backaches, if there are many, many illnesses that are there, and if they are due to the stress, and if so, then if stress can be removed, then health gain 90%. And meditation, because of the dealing with the thoughts and feelings of the body, is greatly and very, very easily and effortlessly. This meditation is helping us to get rid of the stress. So you'll understand it scientifically how that process happens post meditation difference. And when we understand the knowledge, and that's what happened to me, when you understood this whole emergency mode of the body, or the fight and flight mode, and then how that is causing certain chemicals called neuropeptides into the body, how that's making the body work in suboptimal modes. Just because we think about some fight and argument that we have had with our manager 3 months ago. And so then we carry that thought again and again and again. And so then didn't even realize, but that is causing the health to go down, degenerate. Didn't know that, the connection. So just by making that connection, that's called knowledge, then we slowly, slowly want to be in a newer state. Just by making the connection, you slowly look to become positive, look to become, be in that better emotion. And so this is where meditation is coming, to be that process, to go and change your thought, to go change your emotion with awareness. So the moment I understood that, there's a big relief. Then it is common sense at this point onwards that, okay, anytime there is something not great happening in life, how do I get out of it pretty quickly? Because otherwise I suffer, my body suffers pretty soon. Then I can't even do things that I'm pursuing right now. So this knowledge that we learn every day is important, even the little scientific. And of course, even though sometimes it can be a little bit complex or so, but if you go after it a second time and a third time, and we ask that you understand the simple concepts, and so then we are always, based on that, we make a behavioral choice, and that is recorded in our subconscious, so it becomes automatic as we go along. So, first meditation day, friends, and welcome to anyone who joined here on a week 2, and we are okay. Every day we can join this program. The technique is so simple, but we talk about this quickly. And so then you can pretty quickly learn the technique and start the process with us. And every session is as much as possible independent of the other one. So the practice that we are doing here, dear friends, is breath mindfulness meditation, meditation technique. And then the goal of this process is to rest the mind. The thoughts that are there, hundreds and thousands of thoughts that are there every day, more than 90% are negative. We want to rest the mind and then eliminate all those negative thoughts. And so do this by observing our breath with our eyes closed. As you see in the picture, sit down comfortably in a chair or on the floor, cross your feet at ankle, close your eyes, remove spectacles if you're wearing, fingers into fingers, hands in your lap, in a comfortable posture. Sit down and with your eyes closed, rest your attention at the root of your nose, which is in the middle of the eyebrows, at that point. And with your eyes closed, observe your natural breath. The breath, the way it is, observe it. When you observe the breath, slowly mind becomes empty. When the mind is empty, you are slowly experiencing calmness inside you, great relaxation. But emptiness is energy, quantum physics. And so emptiness is energy. So we experience a movement, sensation in your body, and many things can happen. Witness all of it, observe all of whatever that happens When you're observing the breath as thoughts are coming down, you experience some kind of calmness. Something, some vibration, sensation can happen in you, around you. Observe it. In case you have thought, and you know thoughts will come. When thoughts come, you recognize, yes, I'm thinking, I should not be having thoughts. So you go back to observing the breath. Some thoughts come, go back to observing the breath again. And again, start the process. Then again, you go into empty states. So the way to eliminate thought, or the way to reduce thought, is by observing the breath, not by observing the thought, or not by fighting the thought, right? So this is called breath mindfulness meditation, is where you're spending maximum time. Before we do that, we go into and do a short process for a few minutes called heart elevation. Just follow my guidance, dear friends, for it. Relax yourself. Sit comfortably. Your eyes closed, specs removed, dear friends. Relax your body. Dear friends, dear masters, with your specs removed, eyes closed, with your hands over chest area, and resting your attention on your heart center. With a slow, long breath, with your attention on your heart, can you connect with it? Feel the beat, the rhythm of your heart. Connect with this heart center, with that slow, relaxing breath. Feel it. The core of your emotions, which is making your body coherent, which is helping you experience greater life with this higher emotion of love, compassion, appreciation, gratitude. Can you recollect an experience from your past of love, of joy, of compassion, gratitude, or simply imagine yourself to be in an experience of higher emotion? Of pursuing your passions, of helping those in need, of spending time in nature, but walking, trekking, or simply feeling the fragrance of a flower, whatever that may be. Experience that higher emotion, that energy as you imagine and dream. Feel, dear friends. Relive that moment. The more you experience deep joy, love, compassion, the more you become coherent with all things and everyone. Allow yourself to direct that energy to everything and everyone on this planet. Where your attention goes, there your energy flows. Feel. And intent for greater healing and elevation of everyone in this energy. And slowly, let's go into breath mindfulness meditation. With your fingers into fingers, hands comfortably rested in your lap, observe your normal, natural in-breath and the out-breath, dear friends. We are going into powerful group meditation. Observe your normal, natural in-breath and the out-breath. Your attention at the root of the nose in the middle of the eyebrows. When you observe your breath, your mind slowly becomes less and less of thought. As your mind is becoming empty, you experience greater emptiness, that calmness inside of you, all around you. As your mind is becoming empty, all the liberated energy is channelized into the moment. Our body goes into greater coherence and functions at its natural best. Allow yourself to merge into your breath. And allow yourself to experience the emptiness of deeper calmness within you, all around you. into the emptiness inside of you, all around you. All emptiness is energy. This is the field of infinite possibilities. The quantum field of energy of all existence. The more you experience emptiness, the more you transcend your body, the more you merge into this greater field of existence. And the more you are with it, the more you become of it and receive from it. Into the emptiness of yourself. This is your greater mind or awareness. The longer you stay connected into this emptiness, that quietness, the more coherent you become, the more insightful you become. Friends, at this time, can you express gratitude to all things and to everyone? Express gratitude to your parents for this beautiful connection to life. Be grateful to all your teachers and mentors for expanding your knowledge and wisdom. Give thanks to everyone in your life, your family, friends, colleagues, relatives, your partners, helping you learn and experience many things. Your gratitude to everything you use, the technology, companies, government, systems that support your life in many ways. Be grateful. This grand nature, the bird, the fish, and the animals, for all that energy, beauty in our life. Gratitude to yourself for caring for you, for caring for others, and to this universe for helping us experience this life. Gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership. Recollect your experiences from the session. How did you feel? What have you experienced? And whenever you're ready, keep your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds and then open your eyes. Okay, dear friends, hope you enjoyed the session. We always said this. Thoughts will be there. If you thought that now 1 week is over, so I'll have better and more emptier mind throughout from here on, not necessarily. So having thoughts, we say, for where we are right now is no measure of seeing a benefit of meditation. So thoughts will be there, and then we simply train ourselves to move our attention away from the thought to the breath again. So we need to come to an understanding that thoughts are part of meditation, they will be there. And it's okay for me. And it's okay because the benefits anyway are there. So when thoughts are there, rather than getting hung up on, I'm just getting too many thoughts, so meditation is not for me, it won't work for me, I'm not ready for it, and rather than concluding this way, we simply bring our attention when thoughts are there, recognize it, okay, here you go, my friends are coming, and then bring your attention back to the breath. We bring the attention back to the breath, again start the process all over, and we continue. There's always pockets of time between thought to thought. There is a gap. This is a magical gap. This is when we are silently merging with this whole field. And so many things happen at that time. And everybody, without an exception, has a gap between thoughts. And so everybody, without an exception, is receiving or becoming one with the field. And so then benefits are always there for every person who is simply sitting down and then observing the breath. And when thoughts come, coming back to observing the breath again. They just do this with their eyes closed. And so in case any of your friends dropped out because of this, please go back and then tell them to come back. This is the biggest myth of why people drop out of meditation. Biggest myth. So let me put up a few charts about understanding stress and understanding how meditation, this whole notion of going into empty states of mind is helping us to reduce, to eliminate stress. How many people here felt that they came into meditation and then very, very quickly, in a few days to weeks, they dropped their stress and started healing and improving their health? Please write in the chat. I can open the chat. How many of you improved your health and you know that the stress was there, that incessant, relentless, negative, worrisome thought is there in your mind of various things, but it came into meditation and you start noticing that your health is improving automatically. You notice in the beginning, maybe in a few days, and then now after a year, you notice that many, many things have disappeared. Second question, how many people who are practicing meditation regularly moved or minimize the medication or didn't have to go into and then use regular medication for many, many common illnesses? Where you are not depending on medication anymore, you're not depending on something external anymore. where you feel that health is there with you, and then when there is a problem, you sit into meditation and then see the result of it. Great. So then, just by understanding how this is happening through meditation, I think it can help us and give a great deal of certainty that if I sit with this meditation, then it's going to lead me to health, because science is not happening for some and happening for some. It is for everyone, those sit down and sincerely practice, because it's scientific process. Something happens that is discovered by scientists in many ways. So everything is energy communication. Energy communication. Our thoughts are communicating our energy. Our feelings are energy. So there is a connection between what thoughts you have towards the environment, which is towards everything around, including our body. I mean, you know this. If a parent strongly scolds a child, if a boss, is making comments or criticizing, and so you know how you feel in your body. Suddenly you feel low, you feel a little bit dejected. Now, what we don't know is that feeling of low and dejection, what is it causing to the body? Well, you know that you don't feel good. And then you lose out a lot of experience you otherwise wanted to have that day, and it spoils the day. The opposite is also true. When somebody appreciates you and somebody is, giving a different experience of somebody taking to nature walk, somebody is complimenting, somebody expressing gratitude. There's different, our feelings are different. So there is something to do with that communication that's happening to us through environment, through others, is making us experience good and not so good stuff. And this good and not good is also directly proportionate to how our body is responding to that. And so this is noticed, this energy communication, because the thoughts produce signals and they have an impact. As somebody makes a comment, it has an impact on us. And there is also a biological impact on the body when these negative thoughts are received, or it's on the matter. So now these water experiments by this Japanese scientist, Masaru Emoto. So he took water and put them under microscope, water crystals. And so when they see them, water has some pattern. Those crystals have some patterns. Now, by default, when they took gutter water, it's generally is a completely disoriented pattern, like here, water molecule before prayer or whatever, like this. There's no shape, it's all disoriented, completely disorganized. Now that water they take and then express and say words, and you take a glass of water close to you and say, thank you. So what they've done, they put a label of thank you on the water container. And then expressing, saying that thank you to you, and whatever that you can say more. And then they measure, and then slowly the water changes its shape into a perfectly synchronous, a coherent pattern like this. When you say, you make me sick, the same water changes shape. And you appreciate your love, and then say how many ways it's helping everyone and all of that, and the body, and it changes shape again. So depending on what you say, what you write, so as you change the labels on the water with an intention that, okay, now you are giving wisdom, you are truth, and you are eternal. I love you. And so it has different shapes. And I say, you fool, and many other things, they change shape again, and then I hate you, and some kind of stuff change shape again. So Masaru Emoto, with this experiment, with the thought communication, with thoughts and then the words that you communicate to it, which are suddenly changing the shape of the water in a good way, in a coherence, to form a coherence and non-coherence. And so then the food that consumed is not coherent, doesn't have much effect. Consumed that is a coherent, has all that effect in the body. So there is an importance, and when a being having the awareness, when you're taking the food or water, anything into your body, and just by saying a few words, you can neutralize the negative energy of it. The same thing is into the body when our brain is receiving our signals constantly from the environment or from people. It is receiving signals through sensory perceptions, or people are sending their words, and which are basically producing with that signal to produce certain thought into our mind based on what they say. So these signals that are receiving from the environment or from people are thought communication, or this ultimately it is a signal that is interpreted by the senses to say good signal and not so good signal. When somebody shouts at us, then it suddenly goes back into the past memory and says, seems like it's not a great thing for me right now. When there is a dog is chasing at us, it seems like then immediately our brain is recognizing and saying, oh, it seems like this is not a good thing for me right now. And that flood water is coming up, and so yeah, it's not a good thing for me right now. And so the thought changes into a negative thought at that point. On the opposite, when you're suddenly going into a beautiful area where the lake opens up and then there's a lot of nice greenery, and then there is a signal that is said, oh, this seems like a nice place here, so I can have a great time. And so then you have a positive thought, and so there is a positive signal. And so the understanding from the concept that Bruce Lipton and many other scientists have discovered is that our thoughts and feelings, which are triggered through environment by people, are the environment out there that we receive, and then we interpret against what we know from the past, and then we have a positive thought or negative thought from there in our brain triggers, and a positive thought and negative thought, and then a feeling associated with it is triggered. And the understanding there is that then with that negative thought, negative feeling, there is a lot of discoherence in the body, and then the positive thought, positive feeling, there's a coherence like the water molecules. And so then there is a change in the way the cells respond to it based on what kind of emotion you have. So now keep that in the background. Stress, the way we understand, is the number one reason for many illnesses. And stress is sustained negative communication internalized into the body based on what we experience every day. So there is mental stress, typical, which is what is depicted here. Too much work, things are just not going right. You have committed, you're not able to deliver. There's too much of blame game going on. There's too much of friction between people. A lot of friction is going on, right? The argument, the altercations in the family all the time. So you come in there, you see the person, there is some element of an friction, suddenly it triggers a different response in your body. Now, these things go on. These things go on. There is a lot of grief when important people vacate their body, leave, or get deeply hurt. And so there is a problem and a challenge that we suddenly feel like we're losing, fear of losing that person, fear of losing that connection. And so there is a lot of sustained negative thoughts for months and months in the time that event happens. So now all of these things that happen, but they continually there, is called stress. The stress is sustained negative thought, worrisome thought, and a fearful thought of various fears, many things. Stress is produced. Now, this is all, there are a lot of stresses through this modern lifestyle. A lot of stresses in modern lifestyle. Now, there are different stresses. One is a physical danger or stress that happens when you are, let's say, if faced with a physical danger, like a fire alarm, like, unexpected water levels in your doorstep outside, when there is these animals coming in suddenly. You're walking in a forest and a nice trails, and suddenly you see an animal standing in front of you. There is this sudden stress in the body and say, my God, so something is here, some dangerous stuff is happening potentially here. That is called physical stress. Then there is stress that is produced under the body digestive system as you consume a lot of chemicals. Food is completely infected with a lot of pesticides. So as chemicals go in, the body is struggling to digest them. And so that is called chemical stress. But then the most impactful, the most negative, and is this modern lifestyle today is moving us into this modern lifestyle of blaming, and all of this is moving us into the same stress, which is sustained negative thought. Now, what happens when you have this is the body goes into something called an emergency mode or a fight or flight mode. So when there is let's say physical stress is there, like when there is a fire, we know that it's going to be a temporary situation. It's going to be put off pretty soon. When there is an animal chasing, you're walking in your layout, suddenly a dog is sort of suddenly coming at you, trying to attack. Now that time, suddenly the body, and it's so beautiful, that body is so intelligent, it moves automatically, and that control is not with us. It moves automatically into this emergency mode. Because if we were to give it to us, again, we are in thought somewhere else, even in the emergencies, in a forgetful state, don't take care of us. And so the body, this intelligent body designed to take care of itself, protect itself, when there is an imminent danger, without even we being aware. So when there is a sudden physical danger like this, and body is so protected, the body intelligent to protect, fascinating, that is all set up so intelligently. And so it's the two things that immediately, few things it's doing is that it activates this fight or flight mode. The fight or fight mode is to exactly that word. When there is a danger, then I need to fight. I need to handle it with another energy, whatever that is. Or I need to protect myself by going away. That's what you do for the physical body. So I need to somewhere tackle this right now if I cannot escape. That water is coming in, so I got to do something, or at least I can just vacate and then go away from there. And so this fight or flight mode, exactly as it says, now if I want to fight an animal coming onto me, I need a lot of energy, strength in my body, in my legs and hands to do something, things that limbs that move to do something. I need a lot of energy. Either to run away, I need energy, or to fight, I need energy. And that's what this suddenly the chemical transformation, what body is doing when it recognizes. And brain reacts and says, yeah, this is a dangerous situation. And then suddenly there is a stress response produced where these chemicals called cortisol and adrenaline are dumped into the body. Suddenly the energy, that means the blood circulation is changed the way it is, the less resources. Blood circulation is what carries resources to the entire, all organs of the body. Now that's impaired. The reason being, it needs to give more energy to the areas that produce that into the legs and hands so that you have the strength. And this response, the stress response, is also dilating the pupils so that you're focused on the thing in front of you. Normally, our vision is all over. You have peripheral vision, you have central vision. And the central vision is looking at things in front of you. Peripheral vision is also observing everything around you. So then our eyes, that pupils are dilated in a way that you can only focus right in front, nothing else, so that you don't get distracted. So all these things are happening suddenly when there is this stress response, more energy, heart is beat is happening faster. You have to pump more energy, and the supply is cut off into many parts of the body, like digestive system, thyroid system. There are many things the supply cut off are reduced, suboptimal, but more energy pumped into your legs and hands of a system that requires that adrenal system, so it requires more energy into legs and hands. And as a result, then when there is a physical danger, now we say, I don't know what caused me to run so fast. Instantly, I was able to be out of it. I don't know, some power came and I was able to manage, and then suddenly I was able to fight this and then come out of it. All right. The stress response is there to help us to protect. That extra energy is there. Something came, we say, but the body is working for you fully. Now, the thing is, in a stress response where physical body is out of balance because you are in an emergency mode, that's what we do. When there is a fire alarm in our offices, emergency mode is activated. We all drop what we do, and then instead we're only focused towards running and finding the nearest safe exit to go to the safe place. Same thing in the body. It drops all functions at that point. It does not need to digest. It does not need to produce bad hormones into the thyroid system. It does not need sexual responses, having that nice feelings and all that. Not that is required at that point. It needs to go and protect. And so drops everything and then goes into protecting the body. Okay, fine. Is required, but then stress response. But now the physical danger is temporary. For 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, maybe half an hour, the fire is going on, and some way the fire alarm came, somebody came, neighbors came, helped, and put it off. And so the physical danger is there, but then it is going away soon. And so the moment the physical danger goes, the body receives a signal saying that it's all safe. And so then slowly, now it stops producing the cortisol and adrenal, which are interfering to make you very alert and active. And so all of that is withdrawn. It no longer produces, and the bloodstream slowly takes a few hours to withdraw all those chemical residue from it. As long as these chemicals are there, they make somebody very alert and active. They do not let you sleep. Hyperactive when these are there. And of course, these chemicals are damaging in nature if they're there for long term. And so they go and penetrate and then interfere in the functioning of the body in many ways. Your skin cells, they don't let the cells rejuvenate, and so then they die. Now, when the physical stress is for short term, then this emergency mode for short term is fine. And then the stress is gone, and then the body withdraws all these chemicals, and so then you are gone back to normal. Sympathetic, all the nervous system is working great, normal. It's called homeostasis. Everything is great when you are there for a short duration of stress response. But now, with this modern lifestyle, the modern lifestyle where this fight or flight mode is activated when we consistently feel threatened by environment, which is blaming us. We feel threatened that, no, maybe I'm not going to be here for too long, the blame. We feel threatened, and we feel that when that important person is no longer there in my life is not of anything at all. I can't, live this life anyway because my support system is gone. And so we feel there is a threat to our existence. And so when we interpret those situations like that, when we have arguments constantly the children notice that constant arguments and altercations among parents, they feel lack of protection. They feel threatened that, okay, now this is going to probably lead into some divorce or split. That means I'm not going to be taken care. So that is a threat for them. And so they go into a lot of stressful response just because of that too. And so this threatful response, when they recognize difficult to take decision because difficult to perform because the competitive world is so much. And so that has an implication in the way parents interpret their capabilities. And so they feel threatened. And so they go into the stress. Less of what they're able to do or not do well in the exams, but more about how they perceive their not performing well, how it is perceived by the environment. And so that they feel as a big threat. And so they go into this stressful mode. Now, stress for short duration is okay. Emergency mode for short duration is okay. But this emergency mode, a stress mode, is there for too long. If there is a constant fights between at home, and then so the stress is there throughout. If there is constant threat is there in office, which is the case normally, And because you've got too much of overloaded deliveries and schedules, out of greed, you take many things. Out of greed, managers push many things onto us forever, keep doing. And so that is threat. And so then that is stress. That means that his body is in this fight or flight mode for a long time. Months and months it is in the fight or flight mode. So now imagine, rather than being in an emergency for a short time, you're in emergency mode for a long time. So what is emergency mode? Not doing anything other than trying to protect yourself. And so that emergency mode, if you're there for a long time, that means the body has got cortisol, body has got all this adrenaline dumped, which is making you alert and active. That means no sleep. Insomnia is a direct cause of stress because the cortisol is there. It does not let you sleep. And your body has very suboptimal functioning of the blood circulation. So then brain is not working well. Your decision making is poor. Your hormonal imbalances are there because for 3 months, suppose there's not so good supply of the blood circulation into your thyroid gland, then what's going to happen? It suboptimally functions. So hormonal imbalances come. And then acid reflexes come because digestion is not working great. And stress is not in a fight or flight mode is not required. So the body doesn't care. There's no resource to function properly. So it's not there. The immunity glands, circulation in the thymus gland is not functioning because these chemicals are interfering into the immunity functioning of it. The cortisol is interfering in the immunity development of the body. So in many ways, dear friends, when stress is there for sustained for too long, then through this modern lifestyle of constant blame and shaming and greed and load, and so then our body is only in a restless mode with a lot of energy in hands and legs, but not having a supply into any part of the body. And so most of the systems of the body are suboptimal, leading towards their slowly degeneration. Immunity is impaired significantly. So what is the way around for it? We need to disengage from these events that are happening in our life. Okay, there may be an argument happened 1 week ago in my performance review. I didn't agree, but they said this is what you're doing. And so then an argument, and then now impairingly we're looking at it saying, how could they do it? And so we have this thought carried, and we go with that thought and then talk to our friends. Today we talked about it. Tomorrow we call another friend and say, you know what, our rational manager is. And so just my blood boils because of the way they talk about my performance. And so then we continue to have the dialogue and discussion. We continue to relive the past. We don't even know. We had some accident, 6 months ago, 1 year ago. We talk about it again and again. Every time we see some accident, we bring the story again and reliving the past with a feeling. Oh my God, it's so dangerous. I can't tell you. Be careful, be safe. And we relive the past. And the research is when people relive the past, they relive 50% more. They exaggerate. And so that means they exaggerate a lot of the feeling. And so they relive the past of all unwanted stuff. And so then they continue to make the body into the sustained stressful state. So the way of solution then is to disengage from the past. And meditation, dear friends, by regularly quietening the mind, just by observing the breath, quietening the mind, and with a combination of neuroscience principles that when you quieten the mind regularly, and then as your awareness is built, when you come into your wakeful time and you're there, and because you are quietening the mind and slowly in a few weeks, as you stop recollecting that past memory and experience, and so a neuroscience principle that use it or lose it is there. If you don't use it, you'll lose it. And it helps you to forget these past memories. And then meditation brings you into the present moment with an awareness. When the negative thought is there, suddenly you realize, why is this negative thought coming? And so you automatically switch to a neutral or positive thought. Why am I living in my past? You come back and say, yeah, right now here, I'm supposed to do this, I'll do it. Meditation is a regular process with an awareness, and then with it slowly helping us to erase the past unwanted memories for a period of time. and is bringing us into the present. And so then we stop recollecting and living in the past or worry of the future. And so then automatically we say there's no interference into the body. Your body comes out of this fight or flight mode. We're not keeping you in that mode anymore. You have got a deadline for that is there 1 month ago, 1 month ahead. Now you know, impairingly, you know that you're not going to deliver for it. You're going to miss the deadlines. There probably something is going to happen. You don't know. But today, the state is that I'm worrying about it every day. I don't know what's going to happen. Last time it was very nasty. That client really drilled me, and I just did not have a good feeling. My boss is really, it impaired my performance. Oh my God, this is happening again. So thinking about for 1 month. Now, meditator is not thinking about it anymore because the past is slowly resolved. Because the trigger is coming based on the past, and so past is resolved. And so then we say, okay, I have a way to handle, let's see what happens later. Things can happen anyway, and many things, and then there is a higher understanding later comes as we go through this program, that if I change my thought, I can change my output and outcome. And so then, and that is the next understanding, which is for the next week. And so a meditator first stops worrying about the past because that's resolving. And second, moves into positive thinking states of wanting to experience whatever that they wish to see that meeting to go on, or the review to go on. And so then change the future. First, they stop creating a negative past and change the future. Just by stopping all this negative thought, stress is gone. And so then body becomes suddenly normal again. The natural state of the body is to be in this great good hormones, to be there happily and joyfully. The fight or flight mode deactivated, and so dear friends, the mental rumination is gone, and so then the body becomes greatly healthy. Just by tackling the stress response, and the stress is removed automatically. The fight or flight mode is removed. So what do we do when things do happen, and things that are not happening in a way that you don't expect them to happen? Brooding over them does not help, because it's only causing the body to be continuously in this fight or flight mode. So we recognize it and we come out of it. The recognition is awareness. Meditation builds that awareness. And so then we are very healthy, dear friends. Sleep immediately comes back. That cortisol chemical is not there in the bloodstream anymore for a meditator. And so that means then your impaired sleep is come back to you. That's why many people come here and meditate. In a week onward, they're saying, you know what? It was such a disturbing sleep for me for the last few years. I started sleeping now well. Can anybody write here? If you already notice your sleep is improving in the last 7 days, you come here, if you're since and practicing, you see that your sleep is improving already. You see that you're already sleeping little, having a sound sleep, better sleep. You don't wake up as many times as you wake up in the night before. And please say if you're noticing it here, dear friends. So then the physical health, dear friends, when stress is gone, 90% of illness are removed. Backaches disappear. Your digestion improves. Acid reflux disappear. Asthma, there are many things that relate to thought disappear. And your thyroids heal, and many things automatically that are stress related friends come back, and then their body comes back into your natural state. Thank you very much for joining and understanding this. And then tomorrow I'll talk about how meditation, the simple meditation, physically what is it causing biologically into the body, how it's causing the change based on the research and evidence about bringing youthfulness and longevity into the body. This meditation that we practice every day brings longevity. Research shows that people live longer. In some experimentation they're done for 25 years, regular meditators and the non-meditators, they saw that the meditators have an easily 10 years more lifespan compared to the non-meditators. We understand some of it tomorrow. One website that greatly helps in understanding the scientific benefit of meditation in physical health and mental health is a site called EOC Institute. EOC, exploration letter of each of that, EOC, institute.org, documents a lot of experiments, evidences, research in there, for every physical illness, and many, many illnesses are covered. And then one of them is stress, and then how it is meditation is helping it to change it. And there are many more technical things are there one can learn from there if you're curious about it. Right, friends? Then, so thank you for understanding this important concept. And meditation very effortlessly eliminates stress without doing anything else. Yes, Sonalji.
Yes, sir. Thank you. We have Friends Book Club starting today from March 24th to April 28th. It's going to be available in 2 batches. We have great 2 books picked out. Today, every Monday, we will have Conversation with God. That's by Neil Donald Walsh. That's what Chandra sir had mentioned the first day, how it changes life. Phenomenal book. Hope to see you all there. Batch 1 is from 8:15 a.m. to 9:15 a.m. and it's going to be facilitated by Vidya Pulamarsetti and Richa Srivastav. Batch 2 is going to be 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. and that's facilitated by Pratik Agrawal and Rajendra Prasad sir. So they're all 4 phenomenal masters. I think it'll be great. And on Wednesday, we're going to announce again, but just to let you guys know so you can plan ahead. Wednesday, it's going to be Biology of Belief by Bruce Lipton, one of my most favorite books. So that's all. And we'll circulate the links to how to connect on the communities, but you can also connect through our web app. If you haven't downloaded it yet, it's a great time to put the CEO app and subscribe so you can have live notification for everything so you don't miss anything. That's all, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. 2 important books that played a key role in my life. Conversation with God is a book of my enlightenment, understanding philosophically everything, the way things work. 2002, I read this. And my scientific understanding of meditation's impact and thoughts and their impact into life events is through this book called Biology of Belief by Bruce Lipton and You Are the Placebo by Dr. Joe. So I'm so happy these 2 books are there. One is philosophically, you get great understanding. Second is scientifically, you understand the connection, meditation to this change in life. Both of these books, I would certainly either read them or be part of these book clubs. Is the faster way of knowing everything about it. Thank you, Sonalji. Thank you, all dear friends. As before, we'll take a short break and then spend a few minutes sharing experience and answering questions.
Everybody gets a heart, everybody gets a soul, everybody gets a mind to let them know that we can be smart, that we can be kind, that we can be living by giving and loving all the time. So on the days when it's feeling tough and it seems like you don't have enough, well,
Yes.
let's be.
Yes, sir. We have some good questions. From Amit K. Says it was mentioned we can share our experience in groups, but I can't see what's app group for any conversation or sharing. It's only announcement group. Can you please advise? I'm part of Uplift One group. I think Nagendra sir already answered, but I thought that way the rest of the people who also could be having the same trouble. So you can click on any message and reply, and the facilitators and others in the group will be able to see your reply to the messages. So basically, anything that is posted from the admins, you can tag on to that message, click on it and reply, and you should be able to reply.
Yes, Mr. Ramat. So the question is from him?
Yes.
Yeah. Good morning, Chandra sir, and good morning, everyone. How are you doing, sir?
Well, that's a redundant question, but yes, I'm always doing great with you.
Thank you so much, sir. And I must say that my heartfelt gratitude for all these sessions, and because these are really, really wonderful. I have been following meditation for a couple of years now, and in our office environment as well, that we have been following the mindfulness. And I have also I have also been volunteering for all those mindfulness session in my organization as a mindfulness coach. But continuing with these sessions is actually giving me an opportunity to continue with the practice, because of my work schedule. I was little inconsistent, I would say. But this last 8 days, including today, this has been a continuous stint of the meditation, which I really admire, that I got this opportunity. Because when I saw the ad of like Buddha CEO, name itself was like the organization name itself is the kind of like very inspiring, because I inspired to become a CEO one day, probably. But I think this is the best start, probably, I would say, that understanding self and then going through all this journey is really, really helpful. And the wisdom that you're sharing, to some extent, going through so many YouTube videos, there were some understanding got built up, but the way you explain how you relate the things, I mean, it's really now feeding into the mind and the body itself. And I also shared yesterday that that was the first session or the first long stint of meditation in my life that I've been able to do it very, very consistently, without any disturbance, without any physical disturbance also, and without a single uh, moment of sleepiness, right? So that was very, very great. And you know that even I was not at home, I was out somewhere, still I managed to do that, because I think the energy that you are sharing is like reflecting, and the team and the group, how they are actually contributing. It's really amazing. So thank you so much.
That's great. Thank you for sharing that.
It's my pleasure, sir. Thank you.
What I found is that the knowledge must sink in so that it becomes a subconscious understanding, and so then subconsciously you already have newer behaviors, right? So they need to come in. So the old programs are replaced with the new programs. And that's really the attempt in this 40-day program, is to talk in many ways, connect it in many ways, so that it becomes a new program, a new behavior whenever we face the situations. One is to go into that acceptance, which is the essence of all spirituality, is to go into the acceptance. Second, which is unspoken, unsaid in most cases, is to go into a creative mode of yourself to accelerate your experience, rather than simply to accept, to renounce. We don't renounce. Instead, we intend and then create. Go into the acceptance of what comes, but then intend and constantly be in the pursuit of excellence to create more, to experience more. So this knowledge is bundled in this program, and I'm great. It's about, and it all happens through everyone sharing. Like you shared today, I'm sure many people connected. Oh, okay. So, and then there is always that thing, right? Oh, if Amit is able to do in a similar thing like him, and also about seems like the same age group, I too can do. So there is so many ways we all think and connect. Thanks for sharing. Right?
Yeah. In fact, I would just like to add one thing, sir, that uh, the way that we have always understood the feedback, like whenever we are in the conversation with our bosses, it's always we feel that as we are being criticized, and that has been for my case as well, right? But then with the help of this mindfulness exercises, the meditations, I really understood that all those feedback are for our betterment. And that's how it really, really helped me, and really helped me even develop myself, and still growing on, still learning. So I hope that that's going to definitely help further to me and to everyone, whoever is attending these sessions. Yes.
Yes, we'll go a lot of into a detail of that in week 4 when we cover
Okay.
emotional intelligence. And it's
Okay.
all about our conversations. This week is all internal to the body. And week 4, we'll talk about our interactions and workplace and everywhere in the concept of emotional intelligence and how meditation is making us really emotionally resilient and intelligent of it, right? In psychology terms, we'll understand that too. It's really important. Thank you. All right. And then which company is that you practice mindfulness for, and whatever that is was great. Glad that you're saying companies introduce mindfulness techniques there.
Yes, yes. So they have been into this mindfulness for almost like more than 10 years. I just came across just in last 2 years. So there have been various courses that they have conducted, like foundation course, then the coaching, how you can coach people. So all those things are happening. So I have been fortunate enough to get that opportunity and become part of that group so that I can also contribute.
Yes. Buddha is doing corporate programs. And now we recently released an app called Be Super Mind. So there is some self-paced, but also a lot of live learning along with it. And then we recommend 3 weeks to 6 weeks programs where at different paces, here every day, of course, little intense. Then twice a week you learn, but every day you meditate. And so then it can be consumed in bite size, but rolled in. The goal for us is to have this transformation by practicing regularly for a few days with the right wisdom. Then we have transformed. And so then it sticks to us and it is there with us. All right. And I believe the full benefit of meditation and you practice for long enough time. Okay. So a lot of things will continue to cover. So they have a lot of ground to cover here. Another 35 days and so.
Yeah,
Thank you.
sure. One last question, sir, if you allow me.
Yes.
Maybe not to answer today, but just in a conversation, would like to understand what was the inspiration behind keeping this name Buddha CEO? Because this is really, really fascinating and inspiring name, actually.
Thank you for bringing that back. I wanted to answer that in between I spoke. Yes. Buddha CEO, and I'm ever grateful to Patriji for giving this name. It simply means that Buddha is the highest level of representation of an inner life. Inner life. If you're conquered, you call you Buddha, right? And that's CEO symbolically is the highest representation of outer life. That you is the pinnacle of outer life experience maximum, just in a symbolically, right? In the top of an organization. You are the CEO of your life. So everyone, number one, is CEO of their life, right? And then there is a CEO for the family, CEO for a community, for a group or organization. Then rather than merely be a material or outer CEO looking only externally, become a Buddha and CEO. So you be a Buddha inside, then you operate your CEO role in a different way at all, completely. So that's the concept of Buddha say, be a Buddha, and then you lead your life differently as a Buddha CEO. One explanation. Second, you can be both simultaneously. You don't have to go away. Buddha left the palace, then never returned back. But here, you be in the palace, be a Buddha, but be also the CEO. You don't have to run away. And so that's philosophy of PSM Patrici and the philosophy of Buddha CEO is we don't have to go away from it. Be here, practice these little meditations, understand, knowledge liberates. So gain to the essence of what that is, and then give adequate knowledge for ourselves. So then build awareness through meditation and everything happens. Okay.
This is great, sir.
We want to see
Good
every
to know that.
leader. We talk in the context that every leader must become a Buddha CEO, enlightened CEO, whatever you call it. And so that's what it is. And but every person is a CEO by themselves, and meditation is added to become a Buddha CEO. Every person, homemaker, becomes a CEO of her life, and every homemaker, or a CEO of his life. All right. And we want to gain the mastery of it. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And it is really interesting to understand this and how relevant it is. And how I can in fact relate more now. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Heartfelt gratitude.
Thank you. Wonderful to have you here today. Yes, Mr. Srikanth.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir, for the session and all the program. I have very quick question. You mentioned like meditation will help in physical health, and also one of the point is anti-aging. So, do you firmly believe in that, sir?
I experience it, not believe.
You experience it?
I've experienced it.
No, why? Because being a new meditator, why I am having that kind of question is, if at all it helps, why like meditators vacate their body with the diseases?
Okay. It depends on what your priorities are. A lot of masters, for example, suppose, I have some toothache. Now, do I stop? The toothache sometimes very painful. My backaches are painful, but do I stop my goals? Do I stop pursuing my goals? I don't, because my priority is to pursue my goal and to gain that experience, then try to sit and heal my body. All right.
But if we heal our body, we can pursue with exuberance, right?
Right. But the thing is, which is the choice you make, the choice you make. But the thing is, we are evolved to an extent where I learned to manage with what is there, whether I want to go and experience today because I don't know tomorrow. I exist.
Oh,
For various reasons, I don't exist. One is illness. Another could be for another reason. For various reasons, I may not exist at all. And so then there is an inner urge for us to go and experience that. Is based on evolution. Based on evolution. And so then many masters or many people, even though, and then those who are aware and then still doing it, and those who are not aware, and then they're of course causing their body to degenerate. But there's those who are aware about it. But still, they know rather than spending time and energy on this, my healing my body, instead, I simply want to move into my real, what we call the purpose of life, the thing that I'm here for. Okay. So that's what happens to the legal Shrikant. Then when people vacating their bodies because they're not focused on saying, I want to live immortal. So I want to extend my life. And then if it is only your purpose to be as an example, live an extended life and you will do it as an example. But otherwise, you're focused on your purpose and you're focused on your satisfaction of life. And then it doesn't matter at that point whether you live 5 years or 10 years or 20, because you're deeply, it's all about how satisfied you are. When you feel, hey, I've done so much, it's night, I can call off now. And you can, hang up your boots. Right? It's a decision every individual makes. The moment they feel that, okay, I've done so much in my life, they are signaling that, yes, I can now step out of this body and then go into a new vehicle. This is how people go. It is based on where they decide. Now, if they don't worry about it and then they forget about it, they're just completely rat race, they're stressing the body with all the reasons we talked about, then body itself degenerates and then it goes away. Right. Wait, somebody, yeah.
but when we look after like you and Patri sir and great masters, uh, we think that way. Why great master also die with a regular disease and very naturally, like any other person? Why like that? The thought will
We
come.
think
Maybe
that way.
not for everybody, for like few new people. So that was the reason I thought of getting some clarification from you.
At least you knew about that what is coming. At least you knew. So what we think it's an illness only is just a reason for going away, while even those moments of death also a great lesson to many, many, many senior pyramid masters in PSSM. But the death itself is a significant learning event for many. That how you can be till the last moment, no matter what your state of your body, can continue to contribute to your purpose. That's what Patricia demonstrated till the last very moment. Where he continued to have people around him and continued to discuss, a day before he was going and inaugurating something, even though you knew that in his body is degenerated so much that it's any moment, right? But each one has a purpose and I come with it and then do. And a few years ago, he made and said, hey, I've done everything that is necessary. He made some of the hints and things. And so he knew that his purpose, that everything that he wanted to do, and only grandmasters know, and you know about your purpose, I won't know. And the grandmaster knows what their purpose is. But we think simply it's because of some illness, somebody will kill the body. That's not at all true. masters who are aware of what they're doing. Okay.
One last question, sir. If it is relevant, maybe answer it. How I will know my purpose of life in the meditation? If I start doing more and more hours, I will get to know slowly. Or what? Do you have any
When you
shortcut for that?
regularly meditate, when you regularly read and understand the nature of realities, and then as you meditate, you will start recognizing what is purpose. Purpose is to do that thing which makes you very, very satisfied. When I was there 7 years ago or 8 years ago, building an enterprise of a product was really dear for me, parallel to doing meditation service up to 8 years ago. But as the things around, then one day it called and we said, okay, what I want to experience about this enterprise software building and then it being utilized by many people, because that was my experience that I was seeking. As a fulfilled experience, the same thing I was doing was no longer interesting for me. I said, that thing does not interest me. To go and then build one more software, one more enterprise, one more IT problem I solve is not interesting for me. Instead, the interest completely moved into doing what I'm doing today. And it builds up. It's not an overnight thing, but it builds up where what you were doing earlier is no longer interested, but what you're looking for something else is the time for you to change. So you will get to navigate yourself when you regularly meditate because you're centered to your feeling. You're not centered towards, oh, how much money this company, if I stay, will give me more. Oh, my options are to give me more. You're not you're at the same time looking deeply to what's going to give me happiness. I had to make that call when I was coming out of IBM. Of course, my answer, of course, had a lot of money if I would stayed back for a long time. But that's not interesting anymore. Right. And so you will know it over a period of time as you practice. By the way, there is a purpose session in 5th or 6th week. We'll talk about that in little more detail. Okay.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much.
Right. Deepak ji, great to see you. Sir,
So
unmute
you
it.
need to
Great to see you, sir. Sir, I'm following meditation since COVID, and I have great benefits. I was suffering from autoimmune disorder, but of late I could give up my medicines for the autoimmune disorders. I used to take a lot of immunosuppressants and steroids. So the meditation could give me a power that I could give up all these medicines. And since past March 2024, I stopped using any medicines, allopathy medicines. My question to you is, every day I start meditation. After some time, I go into deep sleep, and maybe sometimes I wake up before the meditation ends or what. So I'm not understanding whether I'm sleeping or whether I'm doing meditation.
First of all, congratulations, Deepak ji, for healing your condition. What is that you said? Some disorder? Just repeat.
That's autoimmune disorder. Autoimmune disorder.
Autoimmune disorder. Okay, so there is that. You are also there in this autoimmune condition. Great. Okay, great in the sense that you're healed. All right. So several times you mentioned that sleep is an important part of meditation experience. When sleep, which is in delta state, the real body repair is happening. When we are going into the delta state, almost zero thought state, and is when it is called the NREM sleep, right? No rapid eye movement sleep. And that sleep state is important for the body to rejuvenate. The parameters are just like, that is the true state where it is in the workshop. And vehicle in the workshop where wheels are removed, you look at it and say, oh, is my car? I don't even know because they removed everything. The same thing, the body in the deep sleep state or the delta state, it is totally in repair and rejuvenation. Hormones are produced, it's recalibrating itself in a workshop. So for healing, that's an important aspect. It is very, very necessary. The hormones, the chemicals have to get produced. I suggest you read a little bit around Mind to Matter book by Dawson Church, right? They
Yes.
talk about in deep sleep and delta state, there is a page, and then I wish we can reproduce and then send to people. And then sometimes you take this comment and see we can take that and then send that page. And
Right.
what hormones get produced, how anti-cancer hormones get produced there, and things like that is there. So it is a good thing in meditation. And then those who need it, it will take you into it. So don't worry about it. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
No worry about it. Now, you are where you are, but that if you want to go beyond it, just like anything, we increase our effort towards it, right? We increase our understanding towards it and we increase our effort towards it, right? So, which is what happens in our retreats. Have you traveled and then have you come to Pyramid Valley and then
Yeah,
participated?
yes,
come?
yes. I have.
Okay. You taken any 5-day, 6-day retreat?
Yeah, I have attended Sren Taga's program.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do more of those.
Yeah.
Go into groups, work with the groups, and then actively do group meditations and more reading. These are the practice elements, right? If you do them, then you will be in the delta state, but a little more consciously aware. So that means you potentially are also you are able to catch hold of any experience you're having at that point, which is also act as insights for daily issues and business problems and many things that can happen tomorrow, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. How else meditation is helping you?
Yes. First thing is that I got a tremendous mind power. Strong confidence that I can get rid of allopathy without any fear. That was the major advantage of meditation for me.
And the way you do businesses have the change?
Yes, of course. My stress levels have gone substantially down. So my business, there's an improvement the way I'm doing business. So there's an improvement in efficiency. There's an improvement in quality of work.
Is it more effortless? Are you
Yeah,
convinced
it's a
of
more
a big effort?
effortless. Yes, it is more effortless.
Yes, this word I think has to be understood by many, and it's difficult to understand what that means. But if you practice a meditation for 3 months later, you look at the same deadlines, same delivery, same people you're handling. Now it becomes it's fine. You have a greater acceptance and understanding, so you don't make it an effort. It happens automatically, right?
Right.
Many things come into our life easily. You
Right.
want a meeting happens. You want a client, does anything like that happen for you? You want a
Yes,
client,
sir.
you
Pardon,
want a meeting happens. You are thinking of something, suddenly something shows up in front of you. Do they happen?
Yes, sir. It has happened many times.
Hmm.
It has happened many times. Since I've started meditation, it has started many times. I have got many opportunities in business, like I could manifest a number of times.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Deepak ji.
Yeah, thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you.
It's all because one of my friends introduced to your meditation during COVID times. And since then, I'm following you. And since then, I'm doing all these meditations. Even when I couldn't do online, I'm using app. There are some meditations available which we can do offline. So that also I'm doing. Thank you. Thank you. I'm really grateful to you. My heartfelt gratitude to you, to all Buddha's CU teams.
And to your friend. And to your friend who introduced you.
Yeah, sure. First gratitude to him, sir.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Singalji, for Deepak ji for sharing. Yes, I remember. Okay. So thank you all, dear friends. We'll conclude it here. We'll see you tomorrow for some more understanding of our health and body health, physical health. Thank you.
Everybody gets a soul. Everybody gets a mind. To let them know that we can be smart, We can be kind, we can be living by giving and loving all the time. So on the days when it's feeling tough and it seems like you don't have enough, well, let's be thankful for our friends and family and grateful for the air that we breathe and appreciate everything that we have today. Let's be generous to anyone who has less than us. It's good to be compassionate. 'Cause ever since the day you were born, yeah, we've got a lot to be thankful for.
Thank you, Nagendra sir, for that energy. It was a great session. Friends, thank you for coming forward. See you all in a book club. See you all tomorrow, same time. Thank you.
Everybody gets a seed, so everybody lend a hand to those in need.